The Justice is Just Asleep is a play about disaster that befalls some clerks on the Supreme Court when there's a very important case that's about to be decided. They've had conference. The clerks, who are the protagonists of the story, believe that their side has won the case. When their justice unfortunately drops dead, changing the outcome of the case, which is going to be presented tomorrow morning to the public. It's the presentation to the public that makes the decision have the force of law, and so they start to try and decide if they're going to hide the body till the morning and see if they can still get the outcome that they wanted. And hijinks ensue, as they say. We're in this this moment of eroding norms around our institutions and eroding faith in our institutions. And I think a lot of that has to do with the feeling that they're capricious, that especially something on like the court where you have life tenure, the lives of so many people in this country depend on who lives, who dies, who retires, when they retire, of these 9 justices, because they have so much power. And the huge recent example obviously is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who, if she had lived 4 months longer, things like the Dobbs decision overturning Roe wouldn't have happened. So you have this thing that impacts millions of people that really turns on this twist of fate of like, well, had Ginsburg retired 4 years earlier or died 4 months later, we'd be living in a different world right now. And it's the contingency of that is what really interests me in this play. And I think that those contingencies are lining up to drive us all a little crazy. The question of the play is whether justice is a process or an outcome, I think, is the core question that drives decisions. And I think you can make an argument for both. In other words, is justice the institutions and the rules and procedures we set up to ensure fairness, or is it a fair outcome for people, right? That is like from a moral sense outside of the rules, fair. And when those two things come into conflict, how do we make those decisions? What I just said sounds very serious. This is a very silly play in which a dead body is dragged around and hid and staged in various ways. And I hope that people also have a good time, and that silliness helps them to engage more usefully, actually, in these higher questions about justice, because the world seems very grim right now, and this story is grim, but it's grim in a way that hopefully is amusing if you like grim, amusing things.